What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. I hope everyone is pumped for another top 10 list. Oh shit. So when I came up with this idea, I thought it was an original idea to come up with top 10 songs, albums, breakdowns. Didn't realize that every other YouTuber was planning on doing it, but here I am, making top 10 lists, and I wanted to do it after 2019 was actually done, just in case a band dropped this crazy breakdown at the end of the year. But with 2019 actually finished, I think it's perfect time for me to do the top 10 best breakdowns of 2019. Now, when I say best, I mean a breakdown that doesn't feel tacked on or cliche, that's well placed, well executed, whether it's good lyrics or kind of innovative with interesting guitar work or different kind of samples that they use. It just fits the context of the song. It took me a month to come up with this list, so here it is, and I feel like that's enough chit chat, so let's fucking do it. And here's number 10.
Number 10.
With an entire album that is just full of breakdowns, Knock Loose is a different shade of blue. There is one breakdown in particular that was one of the hugest surprising moments for me in all of 2019 music related, was In the Walls. When I heard this breakdown, not only was it hard hitting with that interesting dissonant kind of guitar lead with the massive production that Will Putney has to offer, it just was the sample that they used with PT, the playable teaser by Hideo Kojima for the Silent Hills game. Hearing that sample at the end of the song was just so cool. Me being a huge Hideo Kojima fan, having a breakdown end with that sample was so cool, and that's why I love this breakdown.
Number 9.
So another album that is full of breakdowns, there's one breakdown in particular that is just so heavy, and that is Northlane's Talking Heads. I wanted to put Vultures on this list, but Vultures came out in 2018, even though it's a 2019 album. But Talking Heads, in my opinion, is just so heavy with those low-tune guitars. Marcus's vocal delivery, too, is just a massive breakdown, a great closer that is pretty much a minute long, and it just hits you.
Number 8.
Come on, there's got to be some Crystal Lake on this list. And Hail to the Fire has a massive breakdown with that Zumba, kind of barbaric call out. It just gets you so fired up. I love the build up to this dropout and the breakdown. I like it how there's two sections to the breakdown. There's the first part, which is heavy, and then the second part, which is even heavier. And Ryu's vocals are just brutal. I wanted to put Aeon on this list, but Aeon came out in 2018, and this album came out in 2019 in North America. So that's why I'm putting Hail to the Fire as my number 8.
Number 7.
When I first heard this song, I was immediately hooked. Just that galloping kind of guitar work, that drumming is just so energetic. It just doesn't let go. And so when the first breakdown happens, where he pretty much calls out, "You fucking coward," and then goes back into that verse, I'm calling that a breakdown because to me, that call out to that kind of breakdown kind of rhythm, to me is a breakdown. I like this part more than the actual ending breakdown. Yeah, that would probably be one of the coolest breakdowns that I've heard in 2019 for sure.
Number 6.
A band that a lot of you are not familiar with, Johnny Booth, Asymmetrical. This album is so fast, so heavy. It is hardcore with metalcore, and when the breakdowns do hit, they're interesting guitar work. It's not just chugs and Asymmetrical. It has one of the best breakdowns, a good build up to, and in my opinion, the best breakdown that they have on the entire CD, which is a lot to say.
Number 5.
you know I gotta show some love to the Straight From The Path boys. Obviously, big fan of these guys. Their early stuff didn't connect with me as much as the new album, and the new album, oh my god, it is littered with massive breakdowns, and again, Will Putney being the MVP here, his production skills really bring these breakdowns to life, and I was torn between putting this or Fortune Teller on the list as the best breakdowns, but I think Second Death is a little bit better just because of how unique the rhythm patterns are when it hits. And of course, you got a bleh in this breakdown. Who doesn't love a good bleh? Drew fucking kills it. Craig Reynolds' drumming is absolutely masterful. Him coming from a death metal background, you can tell that his drumming is just so good on this record. And Will Putney's just mix just makes it so full and heavy. So yeah, if you don't know Straight From The Path, or if you don't like them, there's no denying that they have some massive sounding breakdowns on this album.
Number 4.
And if you know this channel, then you know I gotta show some love to Spiritbox. Spiritbox, they've only dropped so many singles this year, and the singles that they have dropped are all so good. And Rule of Nines being the latest is definitely the one that has the strongest breakdown in my opinion, where when Courtney screams Rule of Nines, it's not the most technical kind of breakdown. It just, I believe, is just open notes, and it's a pretty simple rhythm, but it's so effective, and it kind of goes to show that simple can be really effective. This is a ear-piercing breakdown that just absolutely ends the song with cool electronic samples that are perfectly placed, doesn't feel overused. It just sends me goosebumps.
Number 3.
If you don't listen to Norma Jean, then do yourself a favor and check out All Hail. This album is masterclass, and this song has a knife into a breakdown. Come on. That doesn't seem fair, but the knife is so perfectly used in this breakdown. That scrape sound is so weird sounding, but then the cool guitar work right after this section is badass. Like, Norma Jean is a band that's been around for a long ass time, but for them to be able to make exciting breakdowns after so many years is like an achievement in its own. And Landslide Defeater is the best breakdown on this album, in my opinion.
Number 2.
An album that doesn't actually have too many heavy moments, and is it really metal? It's hard to say what this band is, but when they do go metal and when they do go heavy, they go fucking heavy. And no breakdown is as hard hitting on Sleep Token's entire record as Higher. Higher, I think, is the best executed breakdown because of its lead up. The song is basically kind of like a crescendo that is just kind of going up the entire time. It starts off slow, and it's just this constant build up to that massive breakdown at the end. I love the harmonics and the guitar work. I love the drumming. I love the production. Everything about this breakdown is just heavy. Before I get to my number 1, here's many honorable mentions because there's been way too many good breakdowns this year, and it's hard to put them all in a top 10 list. So in no random order, here's many more.
Honorable mentions.
Immortality belongs to the dead. You just can't kill what's on. I should have let you die. Give me a break.
And best breakdown of the year goes to
Number 1.
This is the most filthy, most disgusting breakdown, but it doesn't feel tacked on. And I think that's key. This band knows how to write a well-structured song, for it to have an ending breakdown that had a good lead up, it didn't feel cheap. Sure, there's shock value to this breakdown, but it felt earned in its buildup. And that shock value with CJ's vocals, not going to get into CJ and what's going on with the band, but for this performance, it is absolutely brutal. There's no denying it's an absolutely brutal breakdown that is just beat down heavy. Like, this is going to be disgusting live. I'm sure they can find a different vocalist that can do just as even better lows. I'm excited to hear what the new recorded, if they do go that route, version of this song, but for what it is a heavy breakdown, very disgusting, and it's shocking, but it's not shocking just for shock value. It is actually fits the song nicely. So those are my top 10 breakdowns. I'm curious to know, what are your top 10 breakdowns? Because opinions are like assholes. Everyone has one. So yeah, just comment down your top 10 breakdowns, because I want to hear any breakdown that I could have missed over the year. But other than that, thank you for tuning in. Till next time. Peace.